All right, good morning, party people. Get my little hoodie here straight. Hey, yeah, that's right. I'm doing another video. Wasn't, but I was reading the comments, and they was talking about Ron, remote online notary. And before anybody even said anything in the comments, I had already been getting phone calls about it, questions about it, not about how to do it, but a lot of the misinformation that's out there where people are advertising notary trainers, are advertising that Ron is coming to certain states, Ron is in certain states, and they're not. It's not. It hasn't been approved by that state. I know Georgia is one of them, and now I'm seeing in the comments they're talking about Delaware, and that there's these advertisements for people to take Ron training. Now, I don't know how much the training costs. This is part of the reason why I started doing videos on YouTube. And the number one thing that I want y'all to do, and please, especially for you who's new, you have to take personal responsibility and recognize everybody out here who's sharing information, especially with a dollar amount attached, may not properly disclose to you the limitations of said training or material, because they have not necessarily done all the research for your state to say that what they're teaching you is applicable where you are at. That's why I primarily try to stay in a realm of, just basic what a notary's supposed to do. And people have asked me about putting together training and all of that. And putting together the training isn't a hard thing. The hard thing is making sure that you find a way to communicate effectively to people when they come to you, or in this case, come to me for said training, that they understand the limitations based on their state. So for you new people, and for those of you who are in this industry that know people who want to get in it, share with them. You need to first make sure you understand what's going on in your state. I personally do not advise that you go hop out there and start buying training, taking training, especially if the training is geared to you growing the business rather than you learning what you're supposed to be doing as a notary within your state. I'm not saying don't take those trainings. What I'm saying is, if you see an advertisement that says this is that about notaries, because there's various different ones, so I'm not going to quote one specifically. You see something out there pop up as whatever. No, I see them all the time. Notaries can make this money. Notaries can make that money. You see ads, we're looking for notaries in your state and you can make money. You got people, hey, this is a great side hustle and all of that. And then you like, okay, I'm gonna just be a notary. And then you run off and become a notary. Or in some cases, they say, take my training first. My training will tell you everything you need to know. But it's really not telling you everything you know about being a notary in your state. It's telling you everything you need to know about running a business as a notary. And that's different. And see, the disclosure part that I believe that needs to happen is that if you got Georgia, I believe Illinois, I know Maryland and Illinois, I believe, are title producer states. You got to have a title producer license. Georgia, I believe South Carolina, North Carolina, I believe Connecticut are attorney states, along with Virginia. But Virginia operates different, and I showed y'all that. And look at my video somewhere over here, I think it's probably pop up, for witness closing, so you can understand that. So Virginia has particular rules. I will have to disclose that these are limitations. Why? Because you as an individual, you may not want to put in the work and the effort to do this job in certain states that have limitations. So you need to know up front before spending your money. So that's why I don't, people call me all the time, text me, email me, what training I share with people if it's NNA, because I'm not a marketer. I'm not one that's going to, that's about marketing the business and all that. There's ways that I do it, but I'm not in it like a lot of these other people are. I'm the type, hey, this is what I do. You have a need, I can meet the need. Let's do business. Vet me, I vet you. Let's go. I'm not about trying to sell. You can tell by the way I do my videos. I'm not about the flash and the all of that. That's not me. And I like it. I mean, I love what they do, but I just don't feel like investing the time. So I don't when it comes to this here. And therefore, when it comes to marketing with clients, I don't feel like that's just not me. I just don't have the personality for it. Going there, cheesing and all of that I just don't have that. I ain't buying no gift basket for anybody, none of that. So you need to know before you sign up for anybody's training what the deal is. If you're unsure, if your state does not make it clear, then what you need to do is reach out to the National Notary Association and talk to those wonderful people about your state laws and what your state allows and how you can do loan closings in your state. Once you understand that, then you can buy the courses. Before you buy a course, find out what they plan on teaching you and if what they're teaching you can be implemented in your state. That's what you need to find out. Because too many people are calling myself as well as other notaries who are on YouTube about the fact that they took courses and now they found out they can't even do 80% of what they said in that course because they're in a different realm than what the person who taught it is in. Then some people, they say, well, other people are making money in Georgia who's an attorney state. Okay, but see, one of the things you have to take into account is that, especially for young ladies, their life environment may not support them being able to do all of what the other person is doing in order to make $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 in Georgia. It's not that it can't be done, but if they don't have the salesman personality, if they don't have the connections, if they're a single parent, if they have a situation where they're married, but their husband, his work hours doesn't support taking care of the kids, or they don't have anybody to help take care of the kids, she may not be able to invest that time. Same thing with the gentleman. He may not be able to invest that time because he's like, look, I got to make money for the family. So I'm working 12 hours a day. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I just want to do a little bit of notary stuff just to make some money. And then now I'm being told I can't. But before I even find out that I can't, I've been told that I had to spend all this money on equipment, on this, on that. And then now I'm being told you can't really, you can do it, but it's going to take a little bit more effort. Anybody out there talking about Ron, remote online notary, investigate it thoroughly with your state. Any course, any training, right from this day forward, anybody say, I got this training, I got this course. Anybody says, I got this material. Before you buy it, you need to check whether or not it's even usable in your state. Is the information any good? All of that. Because there's too many people out here who feel as though they're getting taken. I can't say they're getting taken because I don't know the details of the situation, but they feel they're being taken advantage of because after they drop the dollars on these items, then they're finding out, oh, I can't even do that. So that's why I say I don't have a problem with anybody teaching or doing what they're doing with their business for us helping you to learn how to market it, any of that. You can put out whatever material you want, but I just believe in full disclosure so people aren't needlessly, aimlessly spending their money on stuff. Even if you do give a full refund, it's still the fact of I had to spend my money on something that you could have told me that I didn't need to. But then at the other side of the house, I'm sure the trainers will probably say, those business owners will say, hey, look, you're a grown person. You should have checked into it more. So I'm telling you, check into it more. Don't just assume that everything that's being taught on this internet, everything that's being shared on YouTube and Facebook and all this other stuff, don't assume that just because they come across looking pretty, looking handsome, sounding good, their video quality is great, they got all of the sparkles and the glitz, that whatever they're selling is going to 100% work for you. They're not guaranteeing it. So if they can't guarantee it, then you have to ask yourself, will this really work? And how do I verify will it work? And then get in there and start asking questions. That's what you need to do. That is your responsibility. Nobody should be spending money on a training, anything, on a resource material, whether it's a book, a CD, a ebook download or whatever, if you don't understand what that does, how it can work in your area. Reach out to the person and ask them. Do research yourself. But don't just assume. Because see, if you don't take personal responsibility to check it for yourself, and then you're like, well, I'm gonna just go out here and spend all this money, and then once I find out it ain't worth nothing or it's not really for me, then I'm going to badger the person to get my money back. Some people are like, look, you made that the choice on your own. I didn't tell you to buy the course in the first place. I didn't tell you to do this in the first place. You chose to do that, and if you fail to find out and investigate, that's on you. And I understand both sides. So there's responsibility, in my opinion, on both ends for the trainers, the content producers, to disclose as much as they can based on their knowledge and what they understand about the limitations of their information in certain areas. And then it's up to you who are in those certain areas to educate yourself as to what you can and cannot do. Can and cannot do. It's that simple. I mean, bottom line, you do that, you'll be okay. But I love the discussion in there about the Ron with Delaware and all of that. Y'all need to check it out. I forget which video it's on. If I remember, I'll throw it on one of them little card things up there. But it's up to you. Take responsibility. Ask for help. Reach out to the NNA, National Notary Association. The link will be in the description. And get help before you start spending a dime. And when you do that, you'll feel better about it, and you will be on the right path a whole lot quicker than what some people are going through right now. So if you're on a bad path now, it's time to do a course correction, figure out what's going on in your state, and then you go out here, get the proper education and training. If the training that you have has anything that's useful in your opinion for what you're doing and where you're at, then take that information and maximize it and implement it to the best of your ability. Reach out to the content creator and ask them for help and guidance on how to do that for what your situation is. And I think you'll be fine. All right. So y'all have a good one. Peace.